So this problem is finding the roots of a quadratic equation, and when the leading coefficient is not 1. So our problem is 3w squared minus 2 equals 5w. So in order to solve any type of polynomial, we need to get everything on one side of the equation and have 0 on the other side. So I need to subtract 5w from both sides. I'm writing it in the middle because it needs to be the middle term. So 3w squared minus 5w minus 2 equals 0. So this is what we start with. Now we need to factor the left-hand side. So the way that we factor this is I need two numbers that multiply to the first term times the last term. So I need two numbers, A and B, such that A times B equals 3 times -2 or -6. So the first term times the last term, and A plus B is the middle term. So A times B equals the first term times the last term, and A plus B equals the middle term. So two numbers that multiply to -6, we need these, one's going to be positive, since this is negative, one needs to be positive and one negative, and then they need to add to 5. So if I start with 1 and 6, -6, +1 multiplies to -6 and adds to -5. So it's not 3 and 2 because those would both have to be negative, and that would give me a +6. And then what I need to do is I'm going to replace this middle term, 5w, with these. So I'm going to go 3w squared, and then I have to pick what goes where. So I want something I'll be able to factor. So if I put the 1 here with the 3w, I won't be able to factor this term at all. So if I write it like this, 3w plus 1 w minus 6w minus 2 equals 0. So if I write it like that, that does add to 5w, but I can't factor this term at all. Okay, I mean, I can, but I'll just end up with, I can pull out a w. So I want the 6 to go by the 3w squared. Minus plus w minus 2. And then I split this up into two parts like this, so I can factor. So out of the first term, I pull out 3w, and I get w minus 2 plus, remember there's a 1 here, w minus 2. So I have a w minus 2 in common, so I can factor that out in front. And when I factor, oops, I put plus. So when I factor a w minus 2 out of the first term, I get 3w, and out of the second term, I get plus 1. So you can also just think of it that when you get these two pieces, you're just going to make this one of the terms and this the other one. And I just want to show you, if I multiply this back together, I get 3w squared plus w minus 6w. That gives me my minus 5w minus 2. So you should be able to combine this back together and get your original equation. And now to solve, either w minus 2 equals 0, because one of these terms has to be 0 for this to be 0. So either this is 0, or this is 0, or 3w plus 1 equals 0. So here I add 2 to both sides, and I get W equals 2. And over here, I subtract 1 from both sides, and I get 3W equals -1. And then I divide both sides by 3, and I get W equals -1/3. So my answers are 2 and -1/3. And then the way that I put those into Alex is I put in +2, comma, -1/3.